Ever wondered how websites become interactive and dynamic? This is largely due to a concept known as client-side scripting. Unlike server-side scripting, which runs on a web server, client-side scripting languages run directly on your web browser. The magic happens right on your device, in real time, without constant communication with a server. This makes for a smoother, more responsive user experience. At the heart of client-side scripting is the ability to manipulate HTML elements, handle user inputs, and interact with the Document Object Model, or DOM. This interaction with the DOM allows for dynamic modification of web pages, making them not just static text, but interactive and responsive platforms. The most common client-side scripting language is JavaScript, but HTML and CSS play vital roles as well. So to put it simply, client-side scripting is the magic behind the responsiveness and interactivity of your favorite web pages. But what exactly makes client-side scripting unique? The first key characteristic is that client-side scripts run in the browser. That's right, the code executes on your device, not on some distant server. This allows for real-time interactions, as the script can respond immediately to user inputs and behaviors. Imagine you're filling out an online form and mistype your email address. With client-side scripting, a warning pops up right away, alerting you to the error. This immediate feedback is courtesy of the script running directly in your browser. Next, client-side scripts manipulate the Document Object Model, or the DOM. Think of the DOM as a tree-like representation of a web page's structure. Client-side scripts can climb this tree, accessing, modifying, or even adding branches, that is, HTML elements. Let's say you're browsing an online store and you click to add an item to your cart. The number next to the cart icon increases. This dynamic update is a result of client-side scripts tinkering with the DOM. Lastly, client-side scripting is event-driven. This means it reacts to events or user actions such as mouse clicks, keyboard input, or page load events. For instance, when you hover over a drop-down menu, it smoothly unfurls, revealing a list of options. Or when you slide your finger across a photo gallery on your phone, it effortlessly glides to the next image. These interactive behaviors are triggered by events and handled by client-side scripts. These three characteristics, running in the browser, manipulating the DOM, and being event-driven, are the key components that make client-side scripting unique. They allow scripts to provide a dynamic, interactive, and responsive user experience, enhancing the overall functionality of a web page. These characteristics enable client-side scripts to provide a seamless and interactive user experience. So what languages do developers use for client-side scripting? Well, when we talk about client-side scripting, a few languages instantly stand out. JavaScript, HTML, and CSS are the main contenders. JavaScript is the powerhouse of client-side scripting. It's the language that brings your web pages to life, making them interactive and dynamic. With JavaScript, you can respond to user events, manipulate HTML elements, and even interact with the Document Object Model, or DOM. Now, while HTML and CSS aren't traditional scripting languages, they're just as crucial on the client side. HTML, or Hypertext Markup Language, is the backbone of your web pages. It structures your content, laying out the skeleton of your web page. CSS, or Cascading Style Sheets, is the stylist of the web. It's what gives your web pages their look and feel, dictating everything from colors to layouts. Among these languages, JavaScript stands out as the most versatile and powerful for client-side interactivity. Now let's delve deeper into JavaScript, the titan of client-side scripting. JavaScript is the engine that powers dynamic and interactive web experiences. Its purpose? To breathe life into static web pages, transforming them into engaging and interactive digital destinations. One of the key features of JavaScript is its support for variables and data types. Variables are like containers that store data, and JavaScript supports a variety of data types, such as strings, numbers, and booleans, to name a few. For instance, developers can store a user's name as a string in a variable and use it to personalize the user's experience on the site. Next up, we have functions. Functions in JavaScript are blocks of reusable code that perform specific tasks. Consider them the workhorses of your JavaScript code. They can take inputs, known as parameters, process them, and return a result. For example, a function could calculate the total price of items in a shopping cart. Now let's talk about DOM manipulation. The Document Object Model, or DOM, represents the structure of a web page. JavaScript interacts with the DOM, allowing developers to dynamically create, update, or delete HTML elements and attributes. Imagine a news website that updates its top stories section in real time. That's JavaScript and DOM manipulation in action. Event handling is another essential feature of JavaScript. It enables web pages to respond to user actions, such as clicks or key presses. For instance, when a user clicks on a button, an event is triggered, and JavaScript can respond by performing a specific action, like opening a menu or displaying a pop-up. Finally, there's AJAX, short for Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. AJAX allows for the retrieval of data from a server without requiring a full page reload. Think about when you're scrolling through your social media feed and new posts appear seamlessly. That's AJAX at work. With these features, JavaScript empowers developers to create dynamic and responsive web experiences. But where does JavaScript run, you may ask? Well, the answer is quite simple. JavaScript runs right in your browser, courtesy of something called a JavaScript engine. This engine is the heart of JavaScript execution, the powerhouse that takes your written code and brings it to life. Each major browser has its own JavaScript engine. Google Chrome, for instance, uses the V8 engine, while Firefox utilizes SpiderMonkey. Safari operates on JavaScript Core, and Microsoft Edge relies on the Chakra engine. These engines are the silent workhorses that power your JavaScript code, translating it into machine code that your computer can understand and execute. They ensure that all the interactivity, dynamic behavior, and complex functionality you create with JavaScript runs smoothly and efficiently. So regardless of whether you're on a desktop, laptop, tablet, or smartphone, as long as you've got a modern browser, your JavaScript code will run. This means that JavaScript code can run on any device with a modern browser, making it a universal tool for web development. Let's summarize what we've learned about client-side scripting and JavaScript. We've ventured into the realm of client-side scripting languages, delving into their definition, key characteristics, and common examples. These languages, which run directly in the user's web browser, bring dynamic interactivity to the web, enhancing the user experience in real time. We've learned that the magic of client-side scripting lies in its ability to run directly in the browser, manipulate the document object model or DOM, and respond to user events swiftly and smoothly. The beauty of this approach is that it reduces the need for server-side interaction, resulting in faster, more responsive web pages. Among the languages we explored, JavaScript emerged as a versatile giant, a powerhouse of client-side scripting. We discovered that JavaScript is not merely a language, but a tool that breathes life into static web pages. JavaScript is like the puppeteer pulling the strings, enabling HTML elements to dance and react to user input. In our journey into JavaScript, we've seen its purpose and key features. From creating dynamic content and validating forms to enabling asynchronous data retrieval with AJAX, JavaScript is a multifaceted tool in the web developer's toolkit. It's a language that boasts a variety of data types, powerful functions, and the ability to manipulate the DOM and handle user-initiated events. We've also touched on the unique execution environment of JavaScript. Unlike server-side languages that need a dedicated server to run, JavaScript code is executed by the browser's JavaScript engine. This means that major browsers such as Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and Edge each have their own JavaScript engines, named V8, SpiderMonkey, JavaScript Core, and Chakra respectively. As we wrap up, let's not forget the unsung heroes of client-side scripting, HTML and CSS. While they are not traditional scripting languages, they play a significant role in structuring and styling web content. HTML is the skeleton that holds the content, and CSS is the skin that styles it, making it visually appealing. In conclusion, client-side scripting with JavaScript at its heart is a game-changer in web development. It brings the user interface to life, creating a dynamic, interactive, and immersive user experience. Understanding client-side scripting, especially JavaScript, is essential for creating interactive, dynamic, and user-friendly web pages. Keep exploring and happy coding!